born and raised here in Chico, and aside from 1 year at UC Davis, I've pretty much lived here my whole life. I've pretty much been a sports fanatic since the day I could walk and throw a ball. My first love, I'd have to say, was baseball, and I've been a diehard Giants fan. So this year was pretty good for fellow Giants fans, and sorry from the family from Texas. Better luck next year.
I was born and raised here in Chico. I went to Chico High, Butte College for a couple of years, and I'm currently a couple of weeks away from graduating from the nursing program at Chico State.
Hopefully people will describe me favorably. I'm a loyal friend. I think I'm fun to be around, I hope. I'm a hard worker and dedicated to what I like to do.
My friends would say I'm kind of funny and quirky and nerdy, for sure. I can be serious and a little uptight at times. I can be stubborn. Shawn would know that pretty well. Kind of impulsive, but I like to have fun and enjoy life.
Well, I first met Monika a couple months before we actually started dating, I believe, maybe even a year. A group of us were going to the Red Bluff Roundup Rodeo in Red Bluff, and meeting at my house before the event, and in walked Monika.
I had gone over there and his brother Eric introduced us, but what I remember most about that day is walking into the house, and of all the people that were there, and a majority of them I had never met, he's the one person I noticed out of everyone, and he was just kind of like, oh, who's that?
I didn't know who she was, so I was kind of asking around and asking everybody there, who's this girl, what's she doing? And a little disappointed when I found out she had a boyfriend, but that was the first initial meeting. And we spent the whole, everybody spent the whole day together at the rodeo, so kind of got to know each other a little bit.
The first thing I said to him was, can I use your bathroom? And he told me where it was, and it was actually upstairs, and the stairs were behind me, and I had to turn around and walk up the stairs. And I was like in my little cowboy hat, my little cowgirl dress, and I just remember thinking, like, I hope he's checking my butt out right now.
My first impression when she walked in is she's stunningly beautiful. She's kind of the type of person that when they walk into a room, people kind of stop for a second and turn and say, who's that? Or kind of freezes the moment in the room for everybody.
Almost a year later, in February of 2006, Sarah called. She's like, hey, we're having a party, you should come over. And I'm like, okay. And when I walked in the front door, he was the first person I saw. He kind of has this ability to make himself the only person that I see. And in my smooth moves, I approached him and I said hi, and I asked for a bite of his pizza. So that was our second encounter. And it was later that evening, after a couple of drinks, mind you, I had pulled Sarah aside and I was like, I think Shawn is so cute. Like, oh my gosh, like I've always had this kind of like puppy crush on him. And I think Shawn had pulled her aside also and said the same thing, and she was just like, oh my God, what do I do? And from that point on, it was kind of like we were dating.
I was hoping our first date would be a little sooner than it actually was, but after I found out she was not in a relationship anymore, I tried to pursue her and get her to go out with me, and time after time I got denied again and again. But eventually she came around and we went out and hung out a little bit.
First date was Valentine's Day. Total like cornball, like typical. It was at Tres Hombres, and even though I was born and raised here in Chico, it was the very first time I'd ever been to Tres Hombres. So I think that's pretty cool.
And I was really nervous because it took me months to get her to finally come out with me, and I didn't want to do something stupid and screw it up on the spot there. So everything went well though. It was a fun night. I was definitely the first one to say I love you. I knew early on, I just had a feeling that you get when you know that's the right one, and I think she's a little bit more guarded, and took her a little while longer to kind of tell herself that she did love me and then tell me at the same time.
It was about 3 weeks into our relationship that he said it, so fairly quickly. And I remember when he said it, it didn't necessarily catch me off guard, but I was surprised in the sense that he was confident enough to say it that early in the relationship. And I said it back, and it didn't freak me out or anything. I just knew he was being really genuine about it, and yeah, so kudos to him for 3 weeks into the relationship.
In the chilly hours and minutes of uncertainty, I want to be in the warm hold of your love and mine.
Well, the proposal was, it was pretty exciting, but it was really nerve-wracking at the same time. I kind of planned an elaborate scheme while she was actually out of the country. She was in South Africa on a nursing trip. And I decided we would go to Napa. I wanted to go wine tasting, and I always wanted to do a hot air balloon ride. So I got my brother and his wife together on the scheme.
His parents got this condo for us, and we're paying for this hot air balloon ride. And I think any normal girl would have caught on, but I was like, oh wow, that's really cool. Not even, the thought didn't even cross my mind. But so we got there Friday, and we went out to dinner, and then Saturday morning we got on a hot air balloon. And ideally it was supposed to be over Napa, over the vineyards, but it was fogged in.
It was supposed to be very romantic and beautiful over the Napa vineyards, and weather made us change plans a little bit. The fog was in the valley, and they decided we needed to do an alternate location. So we went out to the romantic Yolo airport in Winters and flew over farmland, which wasn't too exciting to look at. But the balloon pilot got us over a field of sunflowers, which was really pretty. And
we got on this private hot air balloon. It was just the 4 of us and the pilot, and took off. It was beautiful, and just snapping, taking pictures, and everyone knows what's going on, and even the pilot knew it was a special occasion, and I'm still just nerd, not even aware of anything. And
Monika was up front of the balloon, staring off, oblivious to the world, and I got the ring from my brother, and best I could got down on one knee inside that little basket, and told her we weren't actually there for my birthday, like I had lied to her before.
He tapped me on the shoulder. I think it's kind of all a blur, but and he got down on one knee and said, "Monika, I love you. Will you marry me?" And this is all while the pilot's pulling the propane or whatever it is. So it's "Ksh, Monika, I love you. Ksh, will you marry me?"
Turned around and was immediately in tears and said yes. And the rest of the balloon ride was a little bit of a blur until we crash landed, but the rest of that weekend was just awesome. So. Well, I just love that she's her own person, and she doesn't get caught up in what other people think, and she's willing, she says crazy things and she does crazy things and doesn't really seem concerned about, what other people view of her. The more I got to know her, the more I realized how much fun she is to be around and how much she loves life, and she's really smart.
He is patient, caring. I love his relationship with his family. Shawn's kind of this old soul. He doesn't even really realize the wisdom he has in himself. I know no matter what happens, he will always be there for me and protect me.
I'm just looking forward to it being just us two. We've always had roommates since we've been living together, and she's been in school, or I've been in school, and we've been busy with work, and it seems like it's always been kind of hectic, and I'm just looking forward to having a little bit more normal schedule and being able to hang out and enjoy each other's company more and maybe do some more traveling.
What I'm looking forward to most is seeing Shawn as a father. Watching him over the past couple of years interact with his cousin RJ, who's 6, coach boys for Little League and minors baseball, and even the first time I saw him hold our good friend's Lisa and Gary, their daughter Zoe, our flower girl, you know, this little tiny baby, you know, watching him just kind of be in that position of caring for like a little human being is just like, I can't wait to see him interact with one day our children. And I know for whatever amount of love he has for me, it'll be even greater for our kids. And I think they'll be blessed to have him as a father.
Most of all, just kind of being together and starting on our own adventure with just the two of us.